6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Religious programs wishing the eradication of COVID pandemic from Earth will commence at 5:46 today. President instructs to expedite import procedures and administering COVID-19 vaccines to the public. Several more Grama Niladhara divisions have been isolated. Sri Lanka records highest COVID-19 deaths in a single day. People are urged to stay inside and not to leave the houses until there is an urgent or important matter. News overseas, Chinese COVID vaccine Sinopharm gets WHO emergency approval. Local news in detail. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has made arrangements to broadcast the powerful Ratana Sutra Pirit chanting for 1 week in India. Sri Lanka and India has a long-standing relationship between the people of the two countries. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation commenced chanting of Ratana Sutra to invoke blessings on the people of Sri Lanka and the world who have become destitute due to the COVID pandemic. It commenced on October last year, chanting live from the temples in villages and towns daily, and now it has reached the 185th day. Arrangements have been made to broadcast the Ratana Sutra live in India and Sri Lanka for 1 week from today, near the boat tree of the premises of SLBC Colombo 7. Sri Lanka has a relationship of more than 2,500 years with the Mahabharata, with a mature religious and cultural relationship. Not only in cultural and religious aspects, Sri Lanka has a relationship with the Mahabharata running into thousands of years with the evolution of human civilization. The pure Buddhism preached by the Buddha is established in Sri Lanka as a result of India-Sri Lanka relationship. Sri Lanka has become world-renowned as a place blessed thrice by the arrival of the Buddha in the country. The Mahaparinibbana Sutra has mentioned that the Buddha entrusted with the god Shakra to protect Sri Lanka at the time of his passing away. This Ratana Sutra chanting will be broadcast over entire India on shortwaves 873 kHz from SLBC's Puttalam transmission station and over Sinhala, Tamil, English and regional services. It will be broadcast from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time all over local and foreign channels until the 13th of May. There will be a repeat broadcast of the same from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the relevant officials to expedite both the import procedures and administering COVID-19 vaccines to the public as the third wave of the epidemic is raging in the country. During a discussion held with the COVID-19 committee yesterday, which meets daily at the Presidential Secretariat, the President emphasized that the maximum number of COVID-19 shots should be given with a short period of time, the President's media division said. The President stressed that it is important to pay special attention to the Western province, which is largely responsible for the spread of the virus. The administering of Russia's Sputnik V vaccine started from Thursday. He pointed out that the health sector 600,000 Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccines received from China, and Sinopharm vaccines have been successfully administered to more than 55 million people in 51 countries. The President further instructed the officials to hold discussions with the health authorities of those countries to explore the possibility of administering the vaccine expeditiously. The second dose of AstraZeneca vaccine is being given to those who received the first shot. Negotiations are already underway to obtain vaccines from countries where there is an excess of AstraZeneca vaccine. The officials said that maximum measures have been taken to prevent the spread of the virus by closing and restricting areas where infected persons have been identified. Steps have been taken to maintain the facilities at all hospitals at the required level. The officials said that the support of the people was also essential for the success of the measures taken to prevent the spread of the virus. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva said 8 Grama Niladhari divisions in Piliyandara and Habaradua police divisions have been isolated from 5 a.m. today. Accordingly, Arawala West Grama Niladhari division in the Maharagama police area, Nivantidia and Mampe East in the Piliyandala police area will come under isolation from today, while Koggala 1, Koggala 2, Megahagoda, Maliagoda and Piyadigama West Grama Niladhari divisions in Habaradua will also be isolated. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
People's Bank Isuru Udana gift certificates, a valuable gift for any child.
Continuing with more stories here at home. According to Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, 1,914 new COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday. Among the positive cases identified are 1,889 associates of the New Year COVID-19 cluster and 25 foreign arrivals. According to the Epidemiology Unit report at 8 p.m. Friday, a total of 121,338 COVID-19 cases have been reported and 18,830 infected patients have been treated at hospitals. Sri Lanka confirmed 19 deaths due to COVID-19 on Friday, raising the total to 764, and 101,763 patients have fully recovered and been discharged from hospitals. According to the Epidemiology Unit report, so far, a total of 928,776 people have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and out of them, 177,235 have received the second dose. The Director General of Health Services confirmed 19 deaths caused by COVID-19 virus infection yesterday. The total number of deaths due to COVID-19 infection in Sri Lanka is 764 by now. Chairman of the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation, Consultant Dr. Prasanna Gunasena urged the people to stay indoors and not to leave the houses unless there is an urgent or important matter. He says that this pandemic can be controlled within 2 months if people adhered to health guidelines. That's on local news.
Your sister got him the most valuable gift of all.
My family will do anything for our child's future.
People's Bank Isuru Udana gift certificates, a valuable gift for any child.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Education Minister Professor G.L. Pires said that the Sri Lankan government has decided not to reopen all schools, preschools, pirivanas, tuition classes and universities in the country until further notice due to the threat of COVID-19 in the country. Although the present government is keen to continue the education of children in this country, the decision has been taken to give priority to health and safety of school children due to the prevailing risky situation. The minister further said that action will be taken to reopen the schools once the risk level diminishes and the situation improves. The minister said that action will be taken to inform the public at least 3 days before the reopening of these institutions to children.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On Watchlight, the Government Information Department said all eco-tourist destinations, tourist attractions, forest lodges and camping grounds that were open for tourists and controlled by the Wildlife Department have been advised to close until further notice. They said the decision was taken due to the rapid spread of coronavirus in the country. That came to you on Watchlight, and moving on to world news headlines. Chinese COVID vaccine Sinopharm gets WHO emergency approval. More than 170 Palestinians hurt in Jerusalem clashes. Japan expands COVID-19 emergency. World news in detail. The World Health Organization has granted emergency approval for the COVID vaccine made by Chinese state-owned company Sinopharm. It is the first vaccine developed by a non-Western country to get WHO backing. The vaccine has already been given to millions of people in China and elsewhere. The WHO had previously only approved the vaccines made by Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson and Moderna. But individual health regulators in various countries, especially poorer ones in Africa, Latin America and Asia, have approved Chinese jabs for emergency use. With little data released internationally early on, the effectiveness of the various Chinese vaccines has long been uncertain. More than 170 Palestinian worshippers have been injured in clashes with Israeli police at the Al-Aqsa Mosque and elsewhere in occupied East Jerusalem as weeks-long tensions between Israel and the Palestinians over Jerusalem soared again. Earlier in the day, tens of thousands of Palestinian worshippers packed into the mosque on the final Friday of Ramadan, and many stayed on to protest in support of Palestinians facing eviction from their homes on Israeli-occupied land claimed by Jewish settlers. During the past week, residents of Sheikh Jarrah, as well as Palestinian and international solidarity activists, have attended nightly vigils to support the Palestinian families under threat of forced displacement. Finally, on world news, Japan's Prime Minister has extended and expanded the coronavirus state of emergency just 2 months, or rather just months, before the Olympic cauldron is set to be lit. Tokyo, Osaka, and 4 other prefectures will take antivirus measures in an effort to stop the spread of variants and ease the strain on hospitals. Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide said, "In Osaka, we need more time to improve what is a critical situation concerning hospital beds as variants known to be more contagious continue to spread." The current declaration covers Tokyo, Osaka, Hyogo and Kyoto and will now go until the end of the month. Suga is adding 2 more prefectures to the list. Aichi and Fukuoka have also seen infections surge. That's on world news. Moving on to development news. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa took part in the launching work on the country's 7th expressway, the Ruwanpura Expressway, yesterday. The inauguration ceremony of the first phase from Kahatudua to Ingiriya was held via new technology from the temple trees, with the participation of a limited number of participants as per health regulations in place in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday stated that irrespective of obstacles, challenges and difficulties, the government will always remain committed to policies and development programs it has put forward until they become realities. And that's on development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
And on sports news, Andy Murray will practice with Novak Djokovic in Rome on Sunday and hopes to return to action in 10 days' time. The former world number 1 has not played since early March, having withdrawn from the Miami Open with a groin injury. But a series of scans have not revealed any serious problems, and the 33-year-old sounds increasingly confident he will be fit for the French Open. The second Grand Slam of the year begins in Paris on the 30th of May. Murray will fly to Rome on Saturday so he can practice with those competing at next week's Italian Open.
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
U.S. employers hired fewer workers than expected last month despite a huge stimulus package that saw the government send $1,400 checks to most Americans. Just 266,000 jobs were added in April and the unemployment rate edged up to 6.1 according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It said a hiring spree among leisure and hospitality businesses was offset by declining courier numbers. In all, 9.8 million remain unemployed. In February 2020, before lockdowns forced millions into unemployment, 5.7 million people were out of work. That's on Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The dedicated economic centre in Valisara will be closed for 10 days from today after identifying 28 COVID-19 positive persons, its manager HMD Upali said. He said that the positive cases were reported after 170 PCR tests were conducted recently. Accordingly, the officials of the Vattala Health Authority had advised for the closure of the economic centre for 10 days with immediate effect. They also advised conducting another PCR test on the 10th day. 22 business premises have been closed due to COVID-positive cases, he said.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue in partnership with the Ministry of Education introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at times over eastern and over provinces and in Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere over the island during the evening or night. Heavy rainfalls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in Sabragamo, central, western, Uva and southern provinces. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue in partnership with the Ministry of Education introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. Religious programs wishing the eradication of COVID pandemic will commence at 5:46 p.m. today. President instructs to expedite import procedures and administering COVID-19 vaccines to the public. Several more Grama Niladhari divisions have been isolated. Sri Lanka records highest COVID-19 deaths in a single day. People are urged to stay inside and not to leave the houses unless there is an urgent or important matter. News overseas, Chinese COVID vaccine Sinopharm gets WHO emergency approval. With that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news.